Hey everyone, Jake Flips back again, this time with Cotton Candy Vulp. This is definitely what I plan to use most on this channel, if I'm being honest, but who knows, you might see some of my other things from time to time. I have my Nabalis, which you guys have seen, which is my main flipper, main trainer. Love that thing. But the Vulp is definitely the one that I flip the next most after my Nabalis. And for me, I found that the Vulp is just fun. That's how I can describe it. It's not the best trainer I have, but it's probably the most fun. And I don't really know what it is about it that makes it feel that way. I certainly don't do my tricks the best on it. It doesn't flow perfectly with my style of flipping compared to the Nabalis, but it's just fun. I think part of it is the heavier weight than the Nabalis. While still being fairly light, I do tend to like lighter ballast songs. I also love the sound on this thing. I think it just sounds amazing. Like, yeah, I really like the sound of it. I like that nice clack. Tolerances on it are great, especially all the extra hardware. Part of it probably also is because, of course, Hirsch designed it, and I'm a big Hirsch fan. You can see me. I'm at the end of all his videos now in the little Patreon section. But I do enjoy the Vulp. I think it's very fun. And I definitely like the colors that I have. I do, in some ways, wish that they allowed you to pick each handle color before you bought it. But I understand that might, with the amount of colors they have, that would lead to a lot of options. And if they did that, it would probably slow down their production quite substantially. So for now, if you want 2 different colored handles, the best thing you can do is to buy 2 Vulps, or find someone who's willing to send you 1 Vulp handle, or maybe trade Vulp handles with someone you know. Which works. I mean, it's only $65, so spending $120 or $130 just to get this and then have another one, I don't think is too bad personally. I think that this is definitely way more than worth the money. And if it was $130 for just one, I'm not saying I would buy it, but I don't think they would be out of their mind to charge that price, because it is that good. Now, is it worth $130? No, definitely not. They should not charge $130 for it. That's not what I'm saying. If they were going to do that, I think they would need to get some better materials for it. But it really punches way above its weight class. I think it's easily the best ballast song for $100 or less. Well, I suppose best trainer, because obviously no live blade. I think the fact that it has a bottle opener makes it even better. But wasn't really planning on talking about the Vulp this whole video. I think what I want to talk about is you know what? I can make that a separate video. Why don't we just talk about the Vulp? Because we have it, and it's great. So let's talk about it some more, while I fail to flip with my offhand. I like the balance of it quite a bit. I think I need to adjust my zippy inserts to take a little bit less weight out of the blade. But I also don't know, because this one compared to my other Vulp, which has nothing in the blade, still feels exactly the same to me. It still feels like there's too much weight in the blade. So I think it's just a Vulp thing. But I know that this is definitely handle biased, so it's definitely more of a just the way that the knife flows for me feels wonky. That's really one of the big things keeping it from being my favorite in my collection, is just that the way it flips feels almost slightly wonky, like it's nearly perfect. So when you got a balisong that's nearly perfect, but there's just some things about it that feel slightly off, and they just keep it from being like the perfect balisong for you. Of course, balisongs are all subjective, so what might be perfect for you is going to be really bad for me, but what can you do? That's just the nature of these things. I like the handle caps. They had nice grip, and I think they look cool, add personality. The only thing I could consider really a downside to the Vulp, I guess, is because it's all aluminum, it can be fairly slippery at times. These marks do a great job of adding grip though. They're right where you need them. And even if your hands are kind of dry or slippery, you can still flip this, and it will probably be slightly difficult. But because of these cutouts, you can still flip it if you have dry or slippery hands. Now, if these cutouts were not here, I think you would have no chance, but that's just how aluminum type, channel aluminum balisongs are. Of course, I mostly flip my Nabalis, which is G10, which I think provides a great amount of grip, which is why I'm going to be harsher on something like the Vulp, because while I think it's kind of inherently dumb to compare two balisongs, especially two that are as different as the Vulp and the Nabalis, both in terms of price point and general construction, and just everything about these is different. You could not find things more different than these while still being metal balisongs.